Everyone's been talking about Joel Embiid being amongst one of the next stars to request a trade out of his current team. Yeah, and he had a tweet this past week, cryptic tweet where he just said the Watcher. So Joel continues to do his trolling on Twitter by just doing random things like just writing the Watcher. Some people interpret it like Dame Time, the Watch kind of thing. Just, who knows what the heck that was. But yeah, so Sean Devaney of The Heavy recently wrote an article saying that Embiid has given no indication of frustration and isn't likely to ask out. In the article, he wrote, quote, "He is a different kind of character." And just based on everything with Embiid, the kind of the history that he has with the Sixers, he also mentioned that Embiid's still upset that the Sixers got rid of Sam Hinkie in that article, which just shows you how kind of tied to the organization Embiid is, which is awesome. So my question to you guys is, how much do we benefit having a star player who gives his management so much slack and flexibility to try and get creative when changing the team over as much as Philly has? And how careful do the Sixers have to be moving forward to try to make sure that Embiid is happy in the situation?
We got to do all we can to win. So I think at the end of the day, it's going to come down to are they as committed to winning as they say they are? I think that's what it's going to come down to. Because he'll get his contract, but are we committed to trying to win a championship like they say? And do those actions meet those words? That's what's going to dictate it.
And would you say right now, so far this offseason, that would indicate that we are about trying to win a championship?
I don't know. It's not a finished product. I mean, I think you have so much speculation on two guys that are entering the last year of their deal. So until that's kind of resolved, we don't know. But right now, the team as is, I'm sure those guys in the locker room feel that they can win. They felt it last year.
Yeah.
Now, this answer kind of ties back to the first question for me, because it's not just trading Harden, right? They have to consider how many other moves we have to make in order to make us competitive and not waste a year of Embiid's prime. You want to stay financially flexible, but at the same time compete for a title, and it's hard to do those things at the same time. So we're kind of seeing this apparent plan to open up cap space, but that doesn't – if I'm hearing that as Embiid, I would not be happy about that, because that just means a pause here. That's not encouraging at all. So I would think that they're telling him to hold on and keep it together for another year. But again, the floor of this current team right now is what? Should it be Boston to go on to the Eastern Conference Finals? So it's not a bad floor to have for what your team is right now. This team should have, a lot of people say they should have won. I mean, we should have taken that series. So that's the floor. Then the moves we need to make would be raising that and then raising the ceiling, which would be a championship. I don't know if you can have a 50-50 balance between competing for a title and staying financially flexible. I just think it's too hard. They're obviously trying to by getting all these one-year players, but I think that's probably why they're really pausing on taking any Harden trade that comes up, because it's a big move you're making here. And how many more moves do you have to make after that? If you get Terrence Mann and Powell and expirings and first-round picks, that's not moving the needle for this team. So then you have to make another move with those assets and trade those players. And it's a huge mess. That's why, we better hope Wendy's right when he says he has something up his sleeve, because if he doesn't, Embiid's not going to be that patient for that much longer. I think he's got one more offseason after. I think after next year, Embiid will, if there's no progress there, Embiid will go to management.
And asked to go. You think you would request to leave?
It depends on how the season. I think it depends on how the season goes.
Oh, so you think it's like this season?
I think it's a yearly basis from here on out.
Yeah. I mean, how let's say we keep our roster. Let's say we can't find a Harden deal, and he goes to Joel, and he's like, "Look, it's a great team. We should have won it last year. Let's just run this back." Say it doesn't work. all right, well, Joel, it just didn't work. Let's go back to the well and see what we got. It's like, man, how many? I mean, you just can't do it with me here. It's not happening. And especially if guys like Lillard are doing it, that makes it that much more likely that Embiid will eventually do it too. And what? Lillard's 32. Joel's what? 29.
He'll be 30
right?
next offseason. He'll be 30.
So 30.
We'll see.
One more year after that, 31. He's coming very close to the Lillard age. And a lot of people said Lillard did it too late. That's what a lot of criticism has been. You should have done it years ago, right? So that's where Embiid is right now.
Yeah, I think with Lillard, he should have did it once they traded CJ. Once they traded CJ, then you knew what they were doing.
Because he extended after that, didn't he? Did he sign an extension for 2 years? That's when he should have been like, time to go. But look, every move we made so far looks like we're saving up for something. If not a trade and moving up parts, then to retool next season, that sounds crazy.
Yeah.
So
not extending Maxey, not going any beyond 1 or 2 years for Harden, and not putting up the dough. All 1 year deals that we're doing, it all looks like we're just saving up a big load of cash. I don't know what for.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
Throw $50 million in OG Anunoby. I mean, like that's going to solve our problems.
I don't know. We'll see, man. That's what I'm saying. It's just there's so many uncertainties. Like we just assuming, guessing.
And maybe I also thought of this too. So maybe Morey's like, we have a new coach. Let's see if we can take the same core, and if new guys in the locker room with our assistants, new assistants, and nurse can do something more with what we did, because we were so close. If we just have an edge in maybe coaching to get us over the hump, maybe we can get to that next round. I don't know. Again, more speculation.
Yeah.
That's what Keith Pompey said today. He said that they feel that the same team was so close to winning it last year. They feel like with a coach who makes better in-game adjustments can be the thing that kind of puts them over the edge.
But they're not sure of that. Otherwise, they would have signed Harden to a deal.
Yeah. Well,
so it's a 1 year, like, let's see. It's a trial is what it is. Let's see if this works with this.
Yeah. 1 year of letting Nurse kind of coach Doc's squad. And then if that doesn't work, okay, it didn't work. Let's just, move on with the all that cap space we'll have next year.
And there you go. And then how long is Embiid going to be okay with this? Let's try this. Let's try that. Let's try this.
With the cap space that we're opening up, we'll be able to bring on 2 max players and then also extend Maxey next year. Is that what? That's what I've read online. Correct?
We don't know, but basically what I'm telling you is those guys, if they're getting that much, they're going to have to want to come because the team that they're coming from is going to give them the same amount. So
yeah,
I think that's harder than people realize. To
look at Van Fleet with Houston. They ended up paying him, I think, 10 to 15 more than everyone expected him to get on the open market.
Man.
So, are we the Rockets? No, but still, guys, that's been
the Rockets. All their best players are young and their contracts aren't up yet. But so they can pay guys up until that point. It's a minimum amount you have to spend too in the NBA. So we have to remember
6 to 7 years service starts at 42.5, I believe.
No, I'm saying it's a minimum amount of salary that teams have to spend.
A salary floor.
Well, they have to pay people.
Yeah. But even like the other way too, like you have to spend, I think the minimum for a max for 6 to 7 years is 42.5. And then it jumps to, I think 8 or 9 years. I think 9 years service goes to like 47 or 48. So no, we wouldn't be able to afford 2 of those guys. We'd be able to afford like one of those guys and like another $25 million player.
Well, that'd be interesting.
And then sign Maxey, and then forget about your salary cap and your aprons from there on out. We'd be way over at that point.